Hey guys, TheMadeMan here. It has been a long time since last part, but here today I'm finally back. I have some time to record this video, and today we're continuing on the making cars from scratch. And here I'm gonna be doing the damage parts. So let's get into it immediately. Let's start with the hood. Why not? So before you start doing anything to it, you gotta keep it a little bit some gap between the chassis and the whatever part you're working on. So go to this side view here, just drag the like this. Okay, I think this maybe a little more. This looks like too much. Yep, I think this is a perfect gap, not too wide, not too shallow. So you can have to do that from all sides of the object. So do the same here in the front and here. Oh, hold on. Just pick the corners. Don't pick the one in the middle. Just the outermost ones here. Not too much. This looks too much still. Like here. That should be good. Now you can see the size now. So to do the size and make them like equal from both sides, you have to select them at the same time and turn off the y-axis, make sure it's in screen mode, and go to either a front view or the top view. I'm going with the top view, it's easier, and then scale it down so that gets deeper into the middle of the car. And now that's a good gap. That's good enough. Alright, we're done with the gap. Now we're gonna make the damage themselves. So copy the object. Here's the hood. Rename this from OK to dam, just DAM, and then just pick little like small amount of polygons here. We can texture it with scratch. So detach it, keep original so you don't lose the original part, and untick that, so make sure that you don't accidentally use that in the future. And then now you have separate object here, turn on selected mode here, and then move it like so it doesn't overlap with the original object, in this case the hood. So yeah, we have it. Don't move it too far though, because it's gonna look weird. Now assign it to the scratch texture. If I can type scratch, there we go. Now we can texture it. I'm gonna try texture it from the top here. Now we have this. For me personally, I like to just make sure that the both sides are overlapping each other in this one, because you can see here the texture only goes one side. So to make it look a little more realistic, I just make sure it goes both sides. So hold on. Okay, here we go. Bear in mind though, when I do these things, I'm not exactly good at making like damage parts, because I haven't seen it, crash car. I mean, I haven't looked closer, but anyways, that's why it looks kind of weird. But that's the best I can do, really. So anyways, we can just move this around. Oh, that looks really bad, to be honest. Let's say that here, scale it up y-axis maybe. Not so great, is it? you know, you can just adjust the texture until you think it looks good. I'm not doing great at this anyway, so. But let's say you're done with the text mapping, so it attach it back to the hood. Okay, and now show the chassis, and then we can just move around the vertices. One thing I used on C Modeler, I don't know if other softwares have this. I use this FFD thing here. Click on the bonnet and then go to this 3 lines mode. It's manipulator mode, and then click onto the FFD. Now here you can see that there's dots here that you can move, and when you move the dots, it also moves the vertices of the object around. Let's see. Let's say I move this one, the front one, move up. This will also move up with it. So you could also just use this mode here, the vertex mode, on just the object or using the FFD. But I think this one works a little bit better than that. So here, and then you can move up. Oh, hold on, move it inward or something. Not so great at this. Let's say you can move the whole thing, and then let's move this up a little bit, and then inward, and then here, this corner as well, maybe. Oh man, this is really bad, but yeah. Try not to make both sides like, look the same. So now this time it's time to use the vortex mode to make it a little better than this. This looks bad. And so hold on, you gotta save the file as well. Don't forget to save your file. And so we can okay, this one looks a little extreme, but let's say that you are satisfied with your what you did. I'm not exactly liking this one, so I'm just gonna delete this. Let's say you're done with the hood, you can move on to, so you have the boot here. You basically have to do the same thing as the bonnet, the hood, like just create gap and then give it the damage texture, and then hold on, and then move the vertices around and make it look like it's been crashed. You crash into someone. And so I'm gonna move on to the bumper. I'm gonna use the front bumper this time. So the thing about bumpers in GTA San Andreas, when you crash into a wall like once or twice, sometimes the bumpers, both the front and the rear ones, it will just swing around, and that has to do with the dummy position. And normally with the dummy positions of the bumpers are like in one of the corners, like here or here. It won't be in the middle. So to make it look like it's hanging off one screw, you're gonna have to let one side be in its original position and the other side, just hanging down or something. So let's get into it. That's okay, man. This is a damage one. So let's hide this one. There we go. Let's say I'm gonna let the passenger side be the dummy position. I'm gonna select this side. Don't select the original part, so you don't move it, and then move down like this. I'm not exactly good at this either, to be honest, so bear with me here. It will look a little weird. And then let's say you crash into the middle because it pokes out the most. I'm gonna move it in. Just make sure it doesn't clip with the chassis itself as well. Remember with that as well. And move it in further. That looks bad. Yeah. Oh no. Hold on, I screwed things up again. I knew this was gonna happen, so just be careful to not select this side like I did there. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this again. I don't know. Normally I don't use the FFD on bumpers because it's a little more. Let's just say it didn't work as well when I used it. When I tried to use it. So let's see here. Open out a little bit. Looks like a real pump in the middle. Let's say you're done with the shape. Now we can add the scratch texture. You notice that this time I change the shape of the bumper first before adding texture. That's just, it doesn't matter really like what you do first, but it's just your preference. So anyways, have this here and then again move it out so that it doesn't overlap the original object. Give it the same scratch texture and then assign it and then go to the front and then give it new mapping. Hold on, it's glitch. Okay, there we go. Wrong viewport, but anyways, move it like the vertex that overlaps each other because only one side again. Then you scale this up. Let's say that's good enough, I think. Oh, okay. Here. Okay, that should be fine. I'm not that good at this, again, as I said before. Then here you got the front bumper that's damaged. Let's hold on, let me, so that it's easier to manage. Hold on, there we go. Again, just like the hood and the boot, the trunk, I mean, same applies to the front bumper and the rear bumper. So I'm gonna skip now to the windscreen, which is the front window. This one is the easiest of all. So you just copy this object, rename it to damn again. Damn, demonetized, as if I have any. But anyways, find the shatter texture like this, assign it again, and then from the front view, hold on, give it a new mapping again. For those who don't have the keys set up, which you should have done, as I said in one of the early parts, I don't remember anymore. You can go here, surface mapping, edit UV, click on it, generate new. There we go. Now we have the new mapping. Again, this glass damage texture, the shatter, is only one side, so you're gonna have to move some vertices here again. Just move it that it looks like it's overlapping one side. I'm not gonna make it in the middle, so yeah, I did this. Now we can scale it to fit the texture. Now it looks like it fits, except this one we can move the vertex up. That should look decent, but that's not the best, I think. should be good enough. So there, we have the windscreen done. We only have one windscreen per car, so yeah, no repeating here. And then here's the final part of the damage, type. So here's the door. Let's do this front left door. So, but if you have a sedan, a 4-door car, I recommend finishing the model of the door like I did here. So so when you give it a gap, you have to excuse me, give it same amount of gap. So select both doors, and then go to vertex mode, select that mode, and then click anywhere that's not on an object here. Deselect anything. So here we got this vertex mode. You can start moving the vertices around again. So let's say we're doing the top one, and select the topmost of all these part of the door here, and we will move it y-axis, I guess, because top to bottom, use y-axis, or maybe not. Let's use the front view and then move it down this line. So that's not big enough. A little bit more. That should be good enough. And then let's say from the back side here, again, only select the outmost vertex, and then use the x-axis from the left view here, give it the gap it needs, a little bit more. And this car is really bad, to be honest. This is not going with others. Let me move it more. There we go. That should be good enough. And then the bottom side, and then we can just move it y-axis here. There we go. Now we have enough of a gap. Now do the front side here. And move it x-axis this time, because again, yeah, and move it like this, and that should be good enough for the gaps. Maybe a little bit more actually. It's only this A pillar that has a problem. So let me do this. Yeah, we should have good enough of a gap. It might not look very straight, but it's fine. And then let's not finish it. You can go back to the object mode and then go back to the vertex mode again. Click on the front door and give it a gap between the doors, front of the rear doors here. Give it some distance from each other. Give it half a distance from the others, because you have two doors, you move it both at the same time. The gap will be too wide if we do the same amount as other places. So here you have this. Move it x-axis again. Now the gaps should be good enough. Yep. Now I'm gonna only show the front left door, and as you can see here, you can do the same thing as front, the hood and the trunk, because you have to do the same thing, like change the texture of the glass first thing. So basically do the same thing as the windscreen here. Just detach it and find the shatter texture and then remap it again. As you can see here, it's not exactly the right side, or it's a wrong side, so you can rotate the object in y-axis 180 degrees. Now we have the correct side. Then what's going on here? There you go. Scale it up to match the texture again. That should be good enough. So scale up like this. Now we have good enough, and attach it back to the door itself. I'm gonna name it OK as well. I forgot. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I actually forgot to copy the object. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Let me fix it. I'll be right back. Alright, so I fixed it. Don't forget to copy your object, or that will happen like I did. The mistake I did will happen. So anyways, I'll be recording. Yeah, we are recording. So I attach it back to the door itself. Now we got this, and then we can detach like in the middle of the panel here, like around here. Then don't get too close to the door handle. It will be hard to deal with. And then detach it, keep original like before, and then just do the same thing. Just get rid of scratch. Go to the front view this time because you know we're dealing with the side. So hold on, move the x-axis out a little bit. There we go. It's not overlapping anymore. Then hold on, scratch texture here. There we go. Now we can do the same thing again. Just texture it. Now normally I just make this part just get crashed into it, so you know this side is a little bit deeper, so the scratch is here. So make sure that the the side that has the door handles touches this scratch texture. I don't know if you understood that or not. But anyways, scale it up to make the texture fit. And then here should be good enough. I think that should be good enough. Let's say it is good enough, but yeah, attach it back. Now before going any further, you can see that both sides have the doors, right? They look the same. So what I usually do is copy the left side, the driver's side, to the passenger side, including the damaged model, but before changing its shape, so that both sides look different. You don't want to make like two doors when they get crashed into it and then they look the same. That's not really realistic, even though we're not going for realism here, but it looks weird that both sides have the same damage model. So we can copy both objects. Here we go. Don't forget to deselect it so you don't do it accidentally. Give it the right front here. Let's hide one, and then mirror it to the other side. So by going to the front view, turn off the y-axis, make sure the pivot is in the middle, mirror, flip it, calculate its normal, do the same for the damage model here. C F C, there we go. That's my keys. You can see that now both sides of the door, including the damage that's not finished model. So I'm gonna show, and we're gonna change its shape. I'm not very good at this either, so bear with me here. It will look really weird, but I don't know what to do because I'm not that good. So anyways, let's say move it down a little bit so that it's not in its usual position, and then we have this texture mapped here. So we got crash into this place, so move it into the car like this,
it's clipping, so we can move it to the front. So it is a clip. Still clipping actually. Let's move it out of the door. There we go. This is very bad. Okay, this move here like this. Let's make sure we select all of this. There you go. Move it out because it's clipping again. This is still clipping. No, oh wait, wrong. Here, this one. Nope, this one. Then let's change the shape of the mirror a little bit because it sticks out the most. We gotta change the shape. Looks like it crash into. Let's say you're done with the damage. So basically, like what I did there, we can change the shape of the right side again, do the same thing as the left side, and with all that what I did to the front door, do the same to the rear door. So copy it, give it a scratch texture, mirror it to the other side, and then change its shape like I did there. I'm gonna be back when I finish all the damage models in a little bit, so take your time, change, add this damage model. I'll be skipping to that moment when I finish this. So
Alright, so here's the finished damage model. So I did all of this off camera. So I did this rear bumper. One side has to be in its original place so it can swing, and then the trunk here, same thing as the front, and then the doors again, as I did in the video with the front, I did the same with the rear doors. And that's basically it for this part of making cars from scratch. Today we just made damaged parts, so see you in the next part video.